What's up, guys? Welcome back to the latest edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and I'm ready to jump right into it, guys. As you know, we're trying to keep this a little more, constructive or what have you, and keep it more constrained. So let's jump right into it. But before we do that, of course, we're going to do a couple things really quick. I'm going to pull up the Skype. So let me announce that right now. For anybody that wants to come on to the show, I bring you on to the show via Skype, okay? I need you to have a Skype account. If you're already a contact of mine, send me a chat. Let me know I want to come on. We do a 2-minute call maximum, all right? Outside of that, if you're not already a contact of mine, just send me a request on Skype. Same name, SimFBallCritic. I'll bring you on, and that's how we're going to do it. And the way that you need to notify me is you have to send me a message. I won't be looking at the chat to see who wants to come on or not, all right? Second thing we're going to do really quick before we dive all the way in, we're going to do a quick roll call, man. So let's take a look and see who's already in here early and often. 2K God, Luke, Demo, Alex Black, Michael Garman, Lance and Shield, Obi-Wan, Crazy Dean, Boulevard Ware, Deron Smith, more AGWS, Champagne Poppy, more Kenyon Wright, my father-in-law Leonard, and Lydell Dorsey, and I'm sure Debbie and Tony and Rolling Young, a lot of you guys that come on each and every week will be in a little bit later. All right, so let's dive right into it. We're going to look at the All-22 right away. We'll get right into that. Then we'll talk a little bit about, a couple injury concerns, things we got to, keep an eye on. Then we'll talk really quick, man, on what I think we need to do if we're going to have any chance at all with the Saints. And then outside of that, we'll look at the chat to see what you guys got. Then we'll be out of here. All right, so let's look at some All-22 really quick. Give me just a moment to pull it up here. Let's take a look at some All-22 footage. And I'm definitely cutting that down as well, man, and make it, a little more fluent. We're going to just show key moments, key plays, things like that. Let's bring it up. First thing we're going to take a look at, guys, we are 2nd and 4 from the Pittsburgh 42. 12 minutes and 51 seconds left in the first quarter. This is going to be a run by Jalen Samuels. Let's take a look at it, guys. I want you to take a look at the design of this run really quick. Pay attention to everything that's happening here, what Ben Roethlisberger is doing here. He's going to motion Vance McDonald. Boom. Going to pitch it out. And look at Jalen Samuels doing his thing. And we'll go take another quick look at it, and then we'll look at it from another angle. All right, so let's slow this down once again as we look at it from this angle. Beautiful action here. This is a counter pretty much, or a cutback. You got Vance McDonald coming across the formation to get the crack block, on the backside, and then the offensive line doing their thing. And look at that right there. Who is that? That is Ramon Foster pushing his guy all the way to the second level. And then Jalen Samuels is going to do the rest, getting good blocking down here by Antonio Brown. Great play design right here. And if I said it on Sunday's show, you saw Randy Fichtner run the same play back to back, because we actually ran this play before that, got 6 yards on it, ran it back to back. So that was good play calling. But let's look at it from this angle again. Great design by Randy Fichtner. And just pay attention to all of the O-line, man. And I think we're looking at our starting right tackle right here, Matt Fowler. I think Marcus Gilbert, is an old done, and he's done. I think it's over with for him. So look at this. Look at how everybody's getting a hat on the hat. Look at this lane. I mean, you got plenty of room here. And basically, guys, when we ran it to play before this, it's basically, a pitch out with a backside pull right here to give Jalen Samuels the option to go where he wants to go. If you look at the play right before this, which I'm not, but right before this, when he got 6 yards, he cut up in here, more so in this gap. This time, he allowed everything to develop. More action is going to the left side, of the defense, right side of the offense. So he cuts it back here to the left side of the offense, and boom. Beautiful stuff right there. Outstanding stuff. Great play. And look at this. Look at his awareness right here already. Remember, I talked about this when James Conner had some fumbles. He already switching the ball to the outside hand, the closest to the sideline. Perfect. already switching the ball to the left side, so to be closer to the sideline. Great execution right there. Great run by Jalen Samuels. He had a huge day. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at really, really quick, we'll look at the touchdown. Won't spend too much time on that. But like I said, on Sunday, this play should look pretty familiar to us because it got ran on us the previous Sunday for the most part in terms of the route. Look at Vance McDonald. Little pivot route, breaks outside, turns back inside, and it pops open. Let's look at it again in slow motion. Again, we don't really have to pay too much attention to this one, but just so you guys can see some of the key plays. And the reason why I want to show this is I've been very critical of Randy Fichtner going 5 wide so much down in the red area. But if it works, it works. I just would prefer to see us run the ball a little more because I think you put Ben in situations where he's going to force it. He might turn the ball over. We've already seen him turn it over in the end zone. So I want to stray away from that if we can. All right, so good stuff right there. Now let's look at some bad. New England Patriots get the ball right back. And Tom Brady and the boys are going to go 63 yards, and it deflated my spirit. Look at this. Look at this. Chris Hogan is butt naked open. But we're going to take a look at why it happened. All right, let's back that thing up. Now, immediately after this happened, most of us, including myself, we pointed to Artie Burns, okay? Because we knew Artie Burns was on this side. And in real time, I didn't have the time in real time to see exactly who the personnel was, see exactly what type of coverage we was in. All I saw was that there was a huge leak that sprung on this side of the defense, right? And I knew Artie Burns was on that side. So naturally, because Artie has been burnt, we all said, what Artie Burns do? It had to be his fault, etc., etc. But it's actually not. I'm going to show you whose fault it is in my opinion. Now, obviously, this turns into a man defense here. Pay attention to everything as it breaks off of the line. You got Joe Hayden here, Sean Davis, and Terrell Edmonds, okay? So Terrell Edmonds is going to stay home in anticipation of anything breaking back here. We're in man coverage. This ends up a man coverage with single safety high, okay? A single high safety. Now, look at what's going to happen here. I'm going to pause it right when it happens. Boom. This is something that we've seen Sean Davis do a lot this season. Now, I want to give Sean Davis some credit. He tackled very well in this game. But Sean Davis has a bad habit of turning his back to the receiver. I've seen him do it quite a few times watching the All-22. What he needs to do in this scenario, just, wait a little longer. Wait a few more steps. As a free safety, you still have some room here to get, backpedal and then turn your hips is, based on whatever direction you're going to go. Are you going to go left or you're going to open up right and then start running? What you never want to do is turn your back on the receivers. Look at this. He's dead in the water right now. Because basically at this point, you've already committed that you're going to go this way no matter what. And I get it. That's Josh Gordon. I get it. So I get that you're going to respect that's Josh Gordon and you're going to run with him. He's probably your bigger threat deep downfield, being is that there's really only 2 routes here. I get it. But again, I think you need to keep it in front of you a little while longer, then commit. Because look at what happens. Okay? Everybody is going to chase the same guy. Joe Hayden has the backside. And again, now I don't know exactly what this was, but this looks like straight man coverage. However, I think this may have been, I've seen us pass off man from time to time where, one guy will end up yours and then you pass it to somebody else and it's still man coverage. It's kind of a combo. It makes me wonder, perhaps, was Joe Hayden supposed to run with him all the way across the field like Artie did? Being as that Coach Tomlin said it wasn't Artie Burns' fault, it makes me believe that this is straight man coverage, right? So instead of passing it over to Artie, it could have been that because I've seen us do this before this season. I've seen us pass this off where if it's a post, you allow the guy on the backside to pick it up and vice versa. But since Artie Burns ran with his guy and Coach Tomlin said it wasn't Artie's fault, if we're to believe that, then Joe Hayden very possibly could have or should have continued to chase Hogan. But again, if Sean Davis is in proper position just a little while longer, then you can commit. Because then if you're looking right about here, if you're turned around, you see where Hogan is going. So, you know, you can kind of shuffle and decide who you're going to pick up, but at least it buys you a little bit of time so Brady doesn't know exactly who to throw it to. You see what I'm saying? And maybe he makes the play, maybe he doesn't. It's not about whether he could cover the ground. It's about the proper reaction to the play. If you get beat, you get beat. But this just looks bad. Now let's look at it again from this angle. And you're going to see again what I'm talking about. So clearly, they're going to honor. Oh, no. Yeah, that is Josh Gordon. Clearly, they're going to honor Josh Gordon because he's the more speedy guy, the big threat downfield. Right? So Sean Davis, again, look at it. He runs with him. But then he turns his back right there. You see that? He has no idea where anybody is going. He's just anticipating that Josh Gordon is going this way. Mistake. Let me show it to you again. Look at how soon he turns his back. I'm going to pause it right here. You pretty much have already committed. If he was turned and facing the defense still, facing the offense still, just a few more steps, he could clearly see that, oh, Joe Hayden is playing off of him. I need to run with Hogan. So one could say that it was both Joe Hayden and Sean Davis's fault, but from what I see here, doesn't appear to be Artie Burns' fault. Give up that easy touchdown, and just like that. All right, so let's go to the second quarter really, really quick as we speed through this thing. It was something I wanted to show in the second quarter. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, great play design right here. The touchdown to Antonio Brown. Take a look at this. This is outstanding. But I also want you to pay attention to the bottom of the screen. Now, this worked. Great design right here because they're going to switch their routes, which affects everything that these two deep safeties are going to do. Number one, watch this. Boom. When this guy comes inside, now he's looking like, okay, is this coming my way? Is this going to be, you know, a skinny post or a slant or whatever coming my way? He has to honor that. This guy here also is probably anticipating that Antonio Brown might be running a fade because we've done that a lot, you know, the slot fade, if you will, right? So he's probably, as you could tell, he's playing this to be an outside route because of the way, again, he's committing to his direction, what I wanted Sean Davis to do. He's in his back pedal, and he's committing to one direction, but he's not keeping his, you know, he's not turning his back on the receiver. So Antonio Brown breaks inside. Beautiful design here. He cuts back inside. This guy recognizes it a little too late. And Ben is able to hit Antonio Brown. Outstanding throw right there. But guys, look at this down here. Look at this. Because this safety and Ben is holding him with his eyes, this pops open down here to Switzer. Take a look. Chung is never going to make this play because his back is turned. Again, what I said Sean Davis shouldn't have done. Anytime you turn your back on the defense, I keep saying defense. Anytime the defense turns their back on the offense, it's cook season right there. All right, so let's take a look at it. Look, boom. This is wide open. Had Ben still had the ball. And some people might say, well, no, maybe this guy would have read it. Nah, the safety was already committed inside. Ben already got him with his eyes right there. So if he turns and goes back to Switzer, there's no way this guy's going to make that play. So if you look at it from this angle, and again, it worked. So, you know, I'm not saying it was a bad decision. If you look at it from this angle, you'll really see how tight. Look, and Chung is holding all day. And this may have been the call because they called it on Gilmore, but I think this was actually the defensive holding call that we declined. Because, I mean, he doing all he can. I mean, you can't hold no worse than that. That he knew that was about to be 6. But either way, Ben fits it in there. Wonderful throw. Outstanding catch. 6 points. All right, so let's see what else. There was another play I wanted to show you guys. It was a defensive stand. And this goes along with how I think we're going to have to play Where is it? This is how we're going to have to. Where's that play, man? I just saw it. It's to Edelman. Right here. We're going to have to be physical and play man, I think, a good amount of time against the Saints as well. Look at this. Look at what happens here. All right, you got man across the board. Now, I wanted to show you this play as well because there's some good and bad here. This is man coverage, folks, with 2 deep safeties. So this is pretty much man 2. Watch what happens. Let's do it in slow motion. Everybody's playing their man. Got you underneath because they're anticipating these guys coming out. But look at this. What is Morgan Burnett doing? What is Morgan Burnett doing? Why is Morgan Burnett... It's like he's playing the underneath. Like he's focusing more on James Washington instead of Julian Edelman, and allows Edelman to run right behind him. However, if you look down here, Terrell Edmonds is going to play over the top as he should. And he's actually in position right here as well in case Gronkowski breaks loose. But you got Sean Davis on him. So I like the fact that they put Davis on Gronkowski, to man him up a little bit. Davis has pretty decent size. But please tell me what in the world is Morgan Burnett doing? For some of you people who were saying we should have him at free safety. What's he doing? You're supposed to be playing over the top. Now, again, I don't know the coverage. Sometimes things look like what they're supposed to be, and then coaches make changes. But either way, why are you so concerned? Look at this again. Why are you so concerned with this underneath route? That's Mike Hilton. I like Mike Hilton's chances against a running back. So, clearly, play over the top. Tom Brady throws this a little bit better. That's in there. And Joe Hayden is unable to catch up to it. That would have been in there. If he throws it a little bit better, throws it a little further to the sideline, that probably gets in there for a nice close catch by Julian Edelman. All right, a few more plays, guys. Let's go to the third quarter, and then we're going to be out of here. We got to pay homage and give some love to James Washington. My goodness. Woo, what a catch. We're going to just look at this at regular speed. What a catch by James Washington, man. Big time play right here. Look at that, man. That's what the boy did in college. Like I said, I'll let this play regular speed. We don't really got to slow this down. Great stuff right there. Great stuff. Ben with the pump fake. Go get it, James Washington. That's what I'm talking about. And then James Washington going to come right back. Couple plays later. Again. Could this guy be another little piece for us going forward? Break a tackle and let's go. So it's good to see James Washington, man, coming up big in that game. He disappointed us a few games back. All right, so let's move it on. We can go on down to the fourth quarter. And we're going to take a look at a couple things. First thing we'll take a look at is the interception, and then we'll look at the last play of the game, and then we'll be done. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong interception. That's Ben Roethlisberger's interception. That's not the one I want to look at. Here we go. Yeah, let's not forget that Ben threw some picks too. I wanted to show the Juju one, but I'm not. I'll skip it, but that was a bad pass by Roethlisberger. I don't know what he was doing. Now, once again, this is good and bad situation right here. Beautiful coverage, though. Okay? And, again, y'all have heard me say that the Steelers need to start disguising more. Look at this coverage. What that look like at first? What does that look like with a single high safety? Watch what it ends up being. Slow motion. Watch what this coverage ends up being. I'll tell you what I think it is. This to me looks like it turned into a cover 2. And the reason why I think it turned into a cover 2 more so than quarters coverage is because watch the corners. the corners are clearly sitting on. He's playing this like he's supposed to be in the flat, right? See how he passes them off, but nothing else is coming his way. So again, rule number one, guys, for guys who play football in coverage, you have a responsibility, but then you should recognize and diagnose what's happening on the field. If you don't see anybody coming your way, there's no opposing threats. Turn this basically into a man type of coverage here. That's what Joe Hayden does. Okay? They kind of man this up because that's the only thing coming their way. And another good reason why this works a lot in that instance, even in cover two, is because you have nobody coming out of the flat. The only thing that can break into the flat is maybe these guys here. If one of these guys goes short, you probably would see Joe Hayden come up. Same thing you would see with Cody Sensabaugh. But look at what we do on the back end. We rotate him back to become one of the high safeties, and we bring him down to the middle of the field. This was an excellent design, man. So he's playing all of this. Excellent design right there. Great disguise coverage right there. That's something that we can continue to borrow from the Ravens. They do a great job disguising their coverage. However, there is some bad here. Watch Mike Hilton. But this is a beautiful play design, man. It's almost like Sean Davis is in a lurk type of situation, just sitting there in the middle of the field. Watch this. Look at Hilton. Another slip. And Gronkowski recognizing it, changes his route. But look at the pressure. Great pressure right here. Tom Brady won't try to have none of it. Throws it up recklessly. Joe Hayden breaks off of his man and goes up and gets that pick. Beautiful stuff by Joe Hayden. All right, now, remember I said the pressure. Let's take a look at the very last play and how Tom Brady anticipated pressure and got that ball out of there. We'll look at it from this angle, and then we'll slow it down on the other angle, and then we're done with that. Let's see, who is this that wanted to call? Yep, Deron, I'm going to bring you on right after this. 2-minute maximum. Maybe stretch it to 3, but that's it. All right, so let's look at it from this angle here. And this was pretty easy coverage here. It's 4th and 15. You know they got to go for the end zone for the most part. So we kind of vacated, the middle of the field. We didn't really worry about anything short. But check out your boy Cam Hayward. Look at Cam. Look at Cam. Y'all see him turning his legs, like getting his gears ready. So here comes TJ. So Brady's automatically going to roll to the right because remember TJ already to his left. TJ had already got him early in the game, and TJ had been giving him constant pressure. But by this time, Bud Dupree was out. But look at this again. Watch Cam. Watch his leg right here. Watch it. He getting geared up like he in the starting blocks. So look at Brady. We ran a stunt. Like that. And look at Brady. Look at Brady. Falling away. That won't never gonna make it. Especially not throwing it to Julian Edelman. No disrespect, but he's not the tallest receiver. So there you have it, man. Some great plays right there. I wanted to showcase to you guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Look forward to hearing what you guys have to say in the chat. We're going to get to this phone call really quick. Deron Smith, we're going to get him up in here, guys. And like I said, man, y'all know the routine now. We're on a new wave in terms of time and how we do this podcast. So, we're going to stick very, very close and very, very strict to the time frame. Let me get you in here. And again, if any of the rest of you guys want to come in, man, send me a message on Skype. Send me a chat in there letting me know you want to come on. And I'll bring you in. All right, Deron, we're coming to you right now.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother? What you got for us?
Well, maybe I missed it or not, but did nobody talk about Mr. Eli Rogers coming back and showing his butt today?
Oh yeah, we got him on Sunday. We talked about him.
Okay, I had to go to work. Maybe working two jobs now, so that's why you haven't seen me in a while. But yeah,
I
I
feel you.
mean, somebody who's been out for a minute and to come back as strong as he did, that spoke volume to the training. And like I said, Roethlisberger, he threw some bogus passes. Understand, but at the end of the day, you seen how one he started checking down like he was supposed to, instead of trying to throw his business around. He started playing smart. And I don't know if anybody's seen it, but after his second interception, Mike Tomlin went over to talk to him. Don't know what was said because his back was to him. All you seen was Roseberger shaking his head. But I gotta say that win was big for us,
Mm-hmm. Huge.
huge, and which makes me now sit. And I've had this discussion with a whole bunch of Steelers fans after the game on Sunday. They always talking about, hey, hopefully, we can keep winning and get that number 2 seed. I don't want it. I don't want it. I personally, I don't want it. I like being at number 4. Reason being, number 4 will play number 5. I like our odds with that. Then Pittsburgh wins that. We go to the number 1. If
2-minute
say the Patriots
warning.
do win, they go to number 2. As it stands right now, Kansas City ain't their same self as the team that beat us earlier this year.
Yeah.
Our pieces,
Offensively, they still scare
yeah,
me a little bit, but defensively, man, I still think we could get them if we could get a few stops because they're bad on defense.
right. And even though Artie Burns didn't play a whole lot, I paid attention whenever he was out there. Artie he wasn't getting burned. Like I said, that one play, a lot of people, like you said, was talking about, oh, that was Artie's fault. No, just like how you pointed out, that was on Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden went from a man coverage to a zone and left
Time's
that
up.
completely open. You can't do that. I don't care. You can have Brady Quinn. You see a man wide open like that, you're gonna hit that, and it's gonna be a touchdown. You can't do it. But when it comes to us and our defense, it's still suspecty. I'm not gonna lie, but it is getting better. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to these next couple games. I ain't gonna lie. I, I got told off by a lot of Steelers fans. I have hope that we win next week, but I'm not gonna go in there. Oh yeah, we gonna win. We gonna win. No, Drew Brees has been playing his butt off. Yeah, and yesterday was bad, but the Saints have a very nice squad, and I'm sorry I don't like their matchup. Their offensive weapons to our secondary.
Absolutely. I fully
Time's up.
agree with that. Appreciate the call, man. I gotta cut it short right there. But I definitely appreciate the call. And again, for some of you guys that may be new, let me go over this again. Guys, we're starting to condense the show. And I just got to be open and honest with you guys. Just taking feedback from many sources, taking feedback from my wife. These shows can't be long like that. We can't be doing these hour shows, man. We got to have some structure. Number one, it takes a lot of time. And number two, I have to think about those who will be viewing the stream after it's a stream. Would you guys want to sit and listen to something for an hour and a half? No, I'm not. I can't do that. And like I said, with the calls, I expect as we grow that we'll start getting more and more calls. I let it go a little long tonight, but we're gonna have to hold the calls to 2 minutes, no more than 3. Let's try to have some structure with this podcast. Let's be like some of these folks we see on TV. So that's why I know we love the Steelers, but I just can't sit here every time, an hour and a half. That's just, nah. Nah, we got to have some structure. So anyway, guys, let's go to the chat really quick. Doesn't look like anybody else is calling in tonight. We'll chop it up with you guys in the chat for about 5 minutes, and then we will get out of here. So I'm looking at the chat right now. Give me your thoughts. And don't forget, guys, listen, if you like the video, man, do what that little green thumb is telling you to do. Thumb it up. If you don't like it, you can thumb it down. Won't hurt my feelings, but definitely just share your thoughts there. Share the stream and subscribe if you're new. Let me see what y'all got in the chat. Joe Murdy says, Sim, you from Pittsburgh. I grew up there. I live in Florida now the last 19 years. No, sir, I'm actually not. I'm not from Pittsburgh, not even from Pennsylvania, man. I grew up, my hometown is Richmond, Virginia. I've been living in Pennsylvania for quite a long time, and oddly enough, I've been a Steelers fan since I was a little boy, man. I even got, pictures of me in the Steelers jersey at like 3-4 years old, and there you have it. Once I saw him on TV, that was it. But yes, I do reside in Pennsylvania now, and this is going to be home from now on out. But no, I'm not originally from Pittsburgh. Roland Young says, I agree, Deb. I'm not afraid of the Chargers. We blew that game way more than they won it. Absolutely, I agree with that. Relfax says, hey, Steelers fam, out Christmas shopping currently, but I thought I'd stop by. Sorry to miss out on the show, Sam. Nah, man, no worries, man. Do your Christmas shopping. Don't be like me and be super late. I'm just going and doing mine on this coming Saturday. Maybe perhaps Friday because I'll be off Friday, but yeah, I'm on one of those late guys. But yeah, go do your thing, man. Mariana Papa says, what up, Sim, man? I'm starting to like our chances with the Saints. They aren't looking as scary. Not saying we will win, but I like our chances. So let me address that really quick. Really quick, guys. A few injury concerns to keep an eye on. They said that Cam Hayward had a hyperextended knee, but he returned back to the game. As we just saw, he was in on the last play. I don't think that's going to hold him out. Bud Dupree had a contusion, and Tomlin says he expects him to be back. Didn't give a real update on Connor, but we'll see if Connor comes back. I would like to have Connor and both Jalen Samuels. But very quick to the point, what we're going to have to do, in my opinion, to beat the Saints, if we can beat the Saints, is be physical. I know that sounds cliche, but if you look at the teams that has given them a little bit of problem or has been a very, very closely contested game, it's been physicality. Dallas Cowboys punched them in their mouth. Straight physical with them. Held them to 10 points or whatever it was. Last night, if Cam Newton is a little bit better, if he's not injured, I think his shoulder is really hindering him. I think the Carolina Panthers may have been able to steal that game. And they were being very physical. Luke Kuechly was going crazy out there. Thomas Davis, even the old man Davis was doing his thing. And those guys on the back end were giving up some things, but for the most part, they played super physical. Can we do it? I don't know. I'll give you my prediction for the game before we get out of here. But yeah, we're just going to have to be physical with them. I think we can match up with them very well. Our offense against their defense, they are the number one rush defense, so expect a lot of passing. But at the same time, I'm scared of what their offense has the capability to do against our defense. Now, do they have these killer weapons? I don't necessarily think so. Of course, Michael Thomas is great. Of course, Alvin Kamara is dope out of the backfield and running the ball. Mark Ingram as well. But if you look at that roster, they don't really have other guys that scare you. It's just Drew Brees puts these guys in position. So if we can stay in Drew Brees' face, get some pressure, get some hands up because he's not the tallest quarterback in the world, I think we got a shot. I think both the Cowboys and the Panthers have shown us the blueprint, but can our defense do that in New Orleans? I don't know, and I'm not really comfortable about this game. Y'all know I've been telling y'all the whole year I didn't think we would beat the Saints. So I still feel that way. I think the Rats have the Chargers. Yeah, Debbie said. Yeah, man, let's see if the Chargers can beat the Ravens, then whether we win or lose doesn't matter against the Saints. We'll get to see that on Saturday, and maybe that'll give them some incentive to play harder if the Ravens win. And I'm not trying to count my eggs before they hatch, but you would think if the Steelers can get out of it to where the Ravens lose, and if the Steelers lose and they have to come home and beat Cincinnati, you would think they can get up for that game and win the division and go to the playoffs. But we'll see. David P says, why can't our defense play like they did against the Pats more often? I don't know. I mean, it was a great game plan. Again, if you look at the all of the all 22 like I did, look at every play, it was an excellent game plan. We have to tighten up the run D. There were some times where the Patriots were able to run the football. Daggone well, New Orleans is going to try to run the football with that two-headed monster. So we have to keep them or try to keep them in third and manageable, third and long situations. I like our chances better then. If they're able to run the football and they can get their screen game going, and then from that they get their play action game going, we in trouble. Saints are definitely better than the Patriots. I would agree with that for the most part, offensively. However, I don't think it's as wide of a margin as some people would think. Appreciate that, Mariano Papa. Let's give you a round of applause. Appreciate the donation, man. Really do. 2 more minutes, guys, then we're going to bounce. Nate says, I want to see it if Kenyon, what they showed in preseason warrant PT, in my opinion. Okay. Tony says, man, I'm going to take my shoestrings off on Sunday and give them to... Yeah, me and Tony will be watching the game together, guys, on Sunday. And what I hope to do, I think I'll be able to do, we probably won't have the background, but I hope to do the show with Tony, the post-game show on Sunday. We'll just have the camera and no fancy background or anything. We'll try to figure that out. Either we'll walk over here to my house and do it, or maybe we could do it over at Leonard's in the basement. So we'll see. But yeah, I plan to have Tony on, and y'all can see us and how we interact, and we'll talk about the game, and maybe we'll be talking about a win. I don't know. Charlene Jones says, Alvin Kamara or Juju Smith? Well, what's the question, Charlene? You saying who would you take? And if that's what you're asking, I don't know. I mean, they're 2 different players in 2 different positions, so I don't know how in our offense, I would take Juju because you need another legit receiver opposite Antonio Brown. And as you can see, we're able to get production with any running back for the most part when we do our job up front. Roland Young says, laugh out loud at Nays. You trying to put everybody that isn't ready or has no confidence on the field. And that's a true fact, man. I see that from a lot of us Steelers fans a lot. Let's try this guy. Let's try that guy. We've been campaigning for Brian Allen. We haven't seen him. We've been campaigning for Matthew Thomas. We haven't seen him. It has to be a reason for that. We have to trust the coaching staff, or trust that this coaching staff know a little more than we do. And that's the reason why some of these guys aren't on the field. 2 more comments. Ironhead Villalobos says, you think Burnett is a quality player? I think Burnett is a decent player. He's aged now. Rotational piece. I don't mind him in the dime, but I don't think he's a starter anymore. Just my opinion. I just think, sometimes Father Time, man, I mean, he catches up. Your reactions and things are not always the same. Or you start overcompensating for things that you've lost, like perhaps speed and things like that. So there it is. I'll read Leonard's. Leonard says, if we can get a pass rush from Dupree, yeah, Leonard, and I agree with you with that, and we'll end it with that. If we could get pass rush on both sides and consistent enough pressure up the middle with Dupree, with Tuitt and Haywood, we could be dangerous. And it's not about sacks. It's about disrupting rhythm, disrupting timing. That's what we did against Brady. We were pressuring that dude all night for the most part. And that's why sometimes he was leaning, throwing and hitting the ground and turning his head away while he throws the ball because he was anticipating the hit coming. Got to keep the pressure on Breeze. We got to plaster those receivers, in my opinion. Play physical like we did against the Patriots. Man them up. Zone sometime, because you can't tip your hand and always run man. But when there's times that matter, 3rd and long, down in distance, get in their face, get pressure, and make them beat you. I think that's how you're going to have to do it. Offensively, we're going to have to run a lot of no huddle because it's going to be enormously loud in that dome. A lot of hand signal action. Keep them on the field, and get your personnel out there. Go, up tempo so they can't rotate players in. That's, I think, how we're going to have to do it. And I still don't like my chances. I'll end the show on that. I don't believe, guys, in my heart, that we can go into New Orleans the way New Orleans is playing and beat them on Sunday. I don't believe that that can happen. Will I be rooting for it to happen? Absolutely. But I do not believe that our Steelers are going to go into New Orleans and win that game. If they do, that's going to really tell me something. Okay? Because we said we had the 3 big tests latter part of the season. The Chargers was a test. We lost the game, but we saw that we could have won that game. Okay? The Patriots was the second test. We won the game. Third test will be the Saints. We'll see. I don't believe it. They're going to have to make me believe it. There you have it. And let's hope the Ravens lose. And then it's an easier road to win the division. But that's all I got. But I might come back to you guys on Friday. Maybe we'll do another, pre-game show since I'm condensing them. Maybe now this gives me an opportunity to do a third show. It'll be kind of like a pre-game, right before the game. So maybe Friday, Saturday, we'll see. But outside of that, guys, I got to run. Love you guys like always. Hope you enjoyed. If you're new, subscribe. If you are a subscriber, hit the like button and share the stream and cut on your notifications so you know the videos are available. Outside of that, we'll catch you guys on Sunday for sure, but perhaps Friday for a pregame show. We'll see. All right, man. Love you guys. Here we go, Steelers. Maybe we get it done, but I don't believe it. All right, man. I'll catch you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a good night. Be safe. Peace.